Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about what is new in this update because the second anniversary event is in full swing as well as the new Duel Quest, so there is a ton of stuff to cover. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the very first thing I want to talk about is of course the new seasonal event, since it is the second anniversary for NGS. So when we talk to the event lady over here and we go to the exchange seasonal point shop over here, you can see there are a bunch of items over here that you can pick up, including of course new seasonal weapons. Now this time seasonal weapons aren't very good, to be perfectly honest with you. It gives you a bunch of potency and it recovers 4% of your maximum HP every 10 seconds, and this effect kicks in 10 seconds after you equip the weapon. Now the reason why you might consider using a seasonal weapon is this augment right here, because against NGS second anniversary event seasonal enemies, you gain 5% potency, critical hit rate plus 20%, and damage resistance plus 25. This is very powerful. However, it only applies to seasonal enemies, so basically this applies to combat zones as well as the new limited time urgent quest. But that's pretty much the extent of the seasonal enemies until next week, where we get the limited time quest. Then these weapons might be a little bit more viable. But to be frank with you guys, if you have a Neo A weapon already, just stick with this, you're going to be perfectly fine with a Neo A weapon. Now in the seasonal shop, you will be able to pick up 5 Aegis Integras, so even though there is no Dark Falls Aegis for this entire week, because remember all of the Alio urgent quests have been replaced with the new limited time one, which is the Happy Rappy urgent quest, so there is no Dark Falls. That means you won't be able to get your Aegis Integras. So luckily for us, we do have 5 available in the event shop, so if you do need your Neo A weapon, you can pick up 5 Aegis Integras here, go to the Aegis Integra exchange shop and pick up your Neo A weapon of your choice. Another thing to point out is Infernium. You can also pick up 50 Infernium over here in case you still need those Slayer EX cubes or just any class EX cubes, because you can use Infernium to exchange for those class EX cubes in the Stia exchange shop. Now on top of that, there are also some high value items such as Mastery 4, Gigas Might 4, Gigas Precision 4, as well as Gigas Technique 4, as well as the level 4 Souls over here and Dreadkeeper 4. However, the main items you're going to be looking for are going to be the Defi Capsules. These are the new capsules that only apply for Duel Quest, and they are going for ludicrous prices on the market right now, so please take advantage of this. Make sure that you spend all of your seasonal points on the Defi Capsules first, throw all of them on the market and make a killing, because it's going for a lot of money right now. Now for those who are wondering what these Defi Capsules are used for, they are used for the Duel Quest. As you can see over here, they give you 7% potency. This one gives me offensive PP recovery plus 30%. However, it only applies for Duel Quest and it only applies for phase 1 of the Duel Quest. So this means all of the current bosses. So if they do introduce new Duel Quests, these augments will not work on those, as they will be phase 2 instead of phase 1. Unless of course the new bosses they introduce are still in the phase 1 category, then they will still work. So there are quite a few of these capsules. I think this one is going for the most, the Plutos, because this one gives 7% potency as well as 5% crit rate. This one is extremely rare. A lot of people have been asking me where on earth I got this, as well as the Makames over here, which gives me 7% potency as well as potency floor increased by 20%. These two actually only drop from the limited time urgent quest at the moment, as you cannot obtain these two from the event shop. So the only source of these capsules right now are through the limited time urgent quest, so that is where I got them, and thus I was able to put them onto my weapon. So as you can see over here, there are a total of 5 different Defi Capsules, and you can stack them all together in order to get insane amount of power for the Duel Quest. Keep in mind, these capsules only work for Duel Quest. So you look over here on the second page, it shows that I have 0% potency. The reason for this is because all of these capsules over here only work for Duel Quest phase 1. As you can see right here, all of them say the exact same thing. Now, a common question I've been getting all the time is, does this only work for my weapons or does it work for armors as well? Because it says right here, note, only for main class equipable weapons. Well, if we look over here on the official PSO2 website, they have posted an official reply regarding the Defi augments when added to armor, and it basically says that it does work for armor. So that's the TLDR. So we do have an official statement over here saying that it does work for armor. So that being said, a lot of people are trying to build their weapons and armors with all of these Defi capsules, which is why the prices for these capsules are so crazy. Now, if you're wondering why people even care about the Duel Quest, I recommend watching yesterday's video. However, one of the rewards is this idle emote over here. As you can see, I do have this red tablet. This is one of the rewards. It is pretty nice, but I don't know if it's worth spending a lot of Meseta for unless you are extremely rich. So my advice for the average player is to sell all of these capsules this week as well as next week until the prices go really low. Once the demand for these capsules has dried out and nobody cares about Duel Quest anymore, that is when you, the average player, will swoop in, pick up these capsules for extremely cheap, augment your armor, and then clear the Duel Quest. So you won't be able to clear it on week 1 or day 1 just like myself. However, I paid a premium for it. I spent about 6 million because I did have to gamble for my augments. I got stupidly lucky, but for the average player, it is not worth the money. You don't need to do it. I did it for content. For the average player, you just need to hold off, wait a week or two. Once the prices are a lot more reasonable, then you can buy those augments or you can farm them yourselves and then put them onto your armors, and you will be able to clear the Duel Quest. I promise you, as long as you have at least 3 of these Defi capsules on all of your weapons and armors, you will be able to clear Duel Quest. You might not get an S rank, but you're definitely going to be able to get this idle emote as well as all of the other rewards. Again, I recommend you guys to watch yesterday's video as I showcase all of the different rewards as well as the run itself, because it is a little bit challenging, but I ran it with only my weapon augmented. My armors were not augmented with the Defi capsules. The moment I get my armors augmented with the Defi capsules, it's gonna be a piece of cake and you're gonna be able to clear it, okay? I promise you. Now, with the introduction of the new seasonal urgent quest, they also introduced a new material called Photon Chunk 2A as well as Photon Chunk 2B. You need 60 of them. You can only obtain these through the urgent quest at the moment. However, in the coming weeks, you will be able to farm these through the limited time quest, so you don't need to worry about them. Now, the reason why you want to farm for these is because it's used to unlock your weapon potential from level 5 to level 6, and it's actually a pretty significant upgrade. As you can see over here, my Neo A Astron Spear Flowing Spring unit level 5 is 34% potency. It jumps to 38% potency, so it's a 4% damage increase, which is pretty significant. However, I want to remind everyone not to be hyper focused on your Neo A weapons, even though this is considered the best in slot as well as the endgame weapon, because the Christia weapon is no joke either. As you can see over here, Absorption unit level 5, potency plus 27% and PP plus 6% when you defeat a nearby enemy. When you upgrade this to Absorption unit level 6, your potency increases to 42%, as well as the PP plus 6 whenever you defeat an enemy nearby. This is a whopping 15% DPS increase from upgrading your Christia weapon from level 5 to level 6. So if you are farming a lot in combat zones and you don't want to use the Force as your subclass all the time, you can definitely consider a Christia weapon. Personally, I really like the Christia weapon. It's actually my favorite seasonal weapon to use because of the PP plus 6 whenever you defeat a nearby enemy. So because of this, I don't need the Force subclass with PP eradication because the weapon itself is going to give me unlimited photon power as long as I'm killing enemies. And the 42% potency is freaking insane. But it does cost 30 Photon Chunk 2As as well as 30 Photon Chunk 2Bs, but that is cheaper than the Neo A weapon, as the Neo A weapon costs 60 of each, but you're going to be doing endgame content with your Neo A weapon, and you're probably not going to be doing endgame content with your Christia weapon. The next thing I want to remind everyone is, of course, the Arks Records. The Arks Records has started, so make sure to do the West Rotem Dash, Central Kavaris Dash, as well as the Stia Outskirts Dash in order to get your Arks Record badges. Remember, you just need to participate to get bronze. However, if you do get a better time, you can get more badges. Now, you won't get the badges immediately, nor will you see what place you got immediately. After you complete it, you do need to wait a day before you can see whether you're getting bronze, silver, or gold. And after that, you're gonna have to wait an entire week until maintenance before you receive your badges. And the reason why I say this is because I know some of you guys are waiting for 10 Arks Record badges in order to get the Christia Almaty over here, which is the color variant, because you want to change the color of your Photon arts on your Slayer class or on whatever class that you're playing, since this Almaty does apply to all weapons. Now, last but not least, I know a lot of people have been asking, where do I get a bunch of seasonal points? And the answer is pretty much the same. It's Retem Al Noth. However, you do want to make sure that you actually buy the booster. So when we go to recycle items over here, you can see there is an NGS second anniversary S points plus 100%, which increases your point acquisition by 100%. So this will help you a lot in getting a bunch of seasonal points. Now, remember, when you click on this, you click on the bottom option over here to exchange 5 SG scratch items for it. Do not use the top one where it uses AC scratch item. It's definitely not worth worth it, you want to use the SG scratch items, and when you click on this, you can just use your NSG recycle badges and you're good to go. However, if Retem Al Noth is extremely laggy like it was when I was farming there, you can always go to Nuisance Plant over here, as you'll be killing 2 birds with 1 stone, because a lot of people need the Arms Refiners too, and Nuisance Plant is the only combat zone which drops it, so farming here is not a bad idea either. Now, something I forgot to mention is make sure to do your dailies every single day, because there is a new daily which refreshes every single day, which gives you star gems. All right, this one is the kill AM suppression. All you needed to do was kill the RGB AMs or the new AMs, and it rewards you with 5 star gems. This will refresh every single day. There's going to be a different task which will reward you with star gems, so please make sure that you do that. As for the weeklies over here, there are new seasonal weeklies which actually give you quite a bit of EXP as well as Meseta, so make sure that you do it, because 100,000 Meseta for doing the urgent quest 3 times is a pretty good deal, considering that you want to run the urgent quest anyway, because you get the new Defi Capsules over there. You also get the Photon Chunks 2A and 2B over there, so it's a win-win situation. You definitely want to run the urgent quest whenever you get the chance. And last but not least, don't forget about your limited time tasks, as you do get a Gunblade weapon camo for clearing the Ordinal Tower on rank 7 or higher as a Slayer. Now, you can do this as a party, so if you aren't very strong on your Slayer class, you can always get a friend to carry you, or you could just run it as a group and it'll make it a lot easier, but the reward is a very nice weapon camo for your Gunblade. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.